Lex Levy, and this is Ancient Odysseys. I'm here in the subterranean chamber, all by myself in the dark.
Welcome back. I'm Lex Levy and this is Ancient Odysseys. Great Pyramid at night. Beneath the imposing exterior of the Great Pyramid lies the enigmatic subterranean chamber.
In the dark. Excited?
I can't wait, this is gonna be the coolest. A hidden space carved directly into the natural bedrock, symbolic of the primordial mound of creation. Today, we are venturing 30 meters deep to explore this mysterious chamber. Often overshadowed by the more celebrated kings and queens chambers, it serves as a silent witness to the ancient architectural ingenuity of the early Egyptian civilization. Its dark, rough-hewn recesses evoke questions about its original purpose.
Look at that. Iron oxide permeated bedrock.
Here, shine up.
Core of the Great Pyramid.
To me, it appears utilitarian as a functional component of the Great Pyramid system.
So just imagine what this was like for the early archaeologists exploring the Great Pyramid who didn't have the luxury of the light system or the flashlights. So descending down into this chamber, as you can see, looking forward, I'm pretty sure they don't have the lights on down there. Okay, so now everybody stop for a sec.
Yep.
And you can see that we are in the bedrock. If you look around, there are no limestone blocks. This whole passageway was carved down into the foundation of the Giza plateau itself.
Crazy.
Okay, so anomalous area number one. So as you cross through this area here, take a look on your right, up into this cavity, and you can see a huge vein of iron oxide that runs through the bedrock here in the subterranean chamber. And this is the first vein of iron oxide that we'll see. I have never heard this reported or shown by anyone else coming down into the subterranean chamber. And this is extremely important. As we talked about before, the dielectric capacity of iron oxide is double that of limestone. Limestone has a dielectric constant of 6 or 7. Iron oxide has a dielectric constant of 14. So just make sure to take a look at that area as you cross through there so you don't miss that. Okay, next thing. Here on the right, this is the termination of what is known as the well shaft.
It's clear that water was involved. The name of the connecting passage, the well shaft, is telling as it implies it is a well.
And this well shaft goes all the way up through the bedrock and connects into the grand gallery.
Oh, wow.
And we'll see the area where this connects into the grand gallery in just a moment.
Ouch.
And one very interesting note about the well shaft is that the lower portion of the well shaft was actually cased in white calcite. That same crystal material that we saw at the Pyramid of Wanis.
I want to know what you think. As explorers and scholars continue to study its architecture and alignments, the subterranean chamber remains a captivating testament to the layered complexity of ancient Egyptians. A space where myth, ritual, and physics converge beneath the sands of time.
All right, so now, this is the portion where you need to crawl. So you will see pieces of glass here in the sand. So I highly recommend putting your gloves on and just be very careful when you're going through this area. It's a very short passageway. Let me put my gloves on real quick. And if you have your headlamps, this is another good place to use them. So this is awesome that we get to go in here in the dark. Okay, Yalavina. Whoa.
Yaravina.
Wait till you hear the acoustic properties as you crawl through here.
Oh, my.
Wow. All right, so there's an artifact I wanted to check for here on your right. As you're passing through this area here, you see another huge vein of iron oxide running through the bedrock here. And I'm looking for that piece of calcite crystal that was, we found a piece of cal crystal down in here last time.
No.
No, so it's like a piece of, and it may have since been reburied or moved. But this piece of granite here is not from this chamber. I'll explain that here in just a sec. Okay. Whoa. This is awesome. And the last time I was in here, I didn't notice the acoustic properties as much, but it's booming in here.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this is it.
This is the subterranean chamber, yeah.
Take a look.
It smells a little funky down here. I wouldn't necessarily say that's funky like the Red Pyramid, but this is very unusual that they have this open over here.
I guess our journey isn't over.
Well, this is a dead end.
Can you shine in this spot?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on one sec. So we can go back there. Hold on. Let me. This is a wild chamber. And what appears to be a rough cut area here may have actually been producing some very interesting fluid dynamics in the lower portion of this chamber. So you'll see a very unusual nodule type thing here. It almost looks like a seat.
Yeah.
And we can walk up here. You guys can all check this out. There looks to be a similar seat-like configuration over here. Now, I do somewhat get the impression that this chamber may have been in the process of being enlarged, and that the part that we're standing at now was currently being excavated out of the bedrock, and it was just never finished. So that's one proposition about what you see here, but you can also see what looks to be a channel kind of flowing down in this direction, which looks very intentional. Right, going down into the pit. Right.
Pretty well done.
And these are just very unusual looking housings and the remnants of bedrock for a civilization that we know was very organized about the way they built things. It appears to be very haphazard. You know, it wasn't an organized removal of stone from this area. It's either very intentional, and John Cadman has done some research. Again, I disagree slightly with his idea that this was a ram pump.
John is the one who did this duplicate on the
The replica, and he made it a working model.
Yeah.
But
And he injected like coloring so you can see.
yes, correct, John Cadman, yeah.
Do you know John Cadman?
And he knows that there are some very interesting fluid dynamic patterns that happen when water is introduced into this chamber, created by this bedrock formation.
What do you think about this?
That's most likely iron oxide.
Why do you-
Does not look like very systematic quarry. So it does look intentional. Oh yeah. Especially this little nodule here in the center.
Nodule.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing.
Yep.
And then smoothing this whole ceiling out, right?
Yep.
Leaving all this stuff rough here.
Yes.
It's just an odd.
It's like a channel here. Very odd.
This room is gonna hold a lot of water.
Yes. And the column in the northern shaft as well.
Another
By the
channel
way,
here.
Simone was pointing out some holes.
Yeah.
Looks like
Shells. So like this.
You can see
hole
the
here.
chisel marks.
This here. That was a shell
Some-
fossil. All of so millions of years ago, this was an ocean. And the bedrock of the Giza plateau is filled with shells and fossils. Well, actually, when we're walking, easy. Yeah, careful. When we're walking around the plateau tomorrow, I'll actually show you a huge fossil in the bedrock. It's like outside of this one. Yeah, there's so that's very common that all of the stones used in the pyramids have fossil shells in them, which is a huge argument against the idea of geopolymer. People say that the pyramid stones are concrete. That is absolutely not correct. They are quarried stone because they have, sometimes it's a whole big shell, like a complete fossil embedded within the stone. So I was looking at the magnetic field, but then it's because of the metal bar here. So the normal is around from 20 to 60 microtesla. It's this here. So the conventional story is that there were ropes through those grooves, and that they had wooden rollers. So when we get to the antechamber, I'll show you the configuration of the antechamber. And one hypothesis about the function of the antechamber is that there were rollers in the housings in the antechamber and ropes, and you could raise and lower the blocks from the antechamber using this system of rollers. Let's see. So here, and here, it looks like there's evidence of flow erosion coming from down here into this area, coming from down here into this area, here, and here.
And this bottom is original? Like,
Yes.
cut out like
So
that.
you can see down there that there is wet mud inside of that shaft, and it's never been fully excavated. This is actually, you can see how it looks like the water level must have dropped recently, because this was wetter looking the last time we were in here. But you can see how caked up all that mud is. It's still wet, and that thing has never been fully excavated. Now this piece of granite here is another piece that does not belong in the subterranean chamber. This piece of granite is from the antechamber.
In this pyramid?
Yes, this piece of granite here, and the piece of granite that we saw on the way in here.
On the right hand side.
Correct. So it looks like this subterranean chamber, and this shaft in particular, may have had a dual function for the pump mechanism, which drove water through the well shaft into the upper chamber, but then you could also drain water out of here when needed. And that's what I think is causing this fluid dynamic erosion pattern leading down into this. This is where the water went out of the structure, not through that dead-end shaft over there. So that's really the only reason that I disagree with Cabin. He's a very prolific researcher, and his ideas on the fluid dynamics and the compression wave, but it's not a water hammer per se. There's not a rocking back and forth motion that drives the water out that way. It was being pumped up into the upper chambers. And if you guys are feeling up to it, I mean, we can crawl down that little shaft.
Who's up for it?
Okay? But we'll just have to go out backwards, because again, I don't think there's enough room.
It's just a dead end.
Yeah, it is just a dead end. But remember, this may be your only chance
Yeah.
to get down inside here.
I'm gonna take my phone with me, so you can like. Or should I?
So I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you go by yourself.
I don't mind.
Can you shine into this?
And I'll go first,
Can you see the end of it?
so that if anything happens, it happens to me first.
Nothing's gonna happen. But you can.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
No, it's not that far.
Let's go.
But I would like to be able to say conclusively that it is a dead end. Right? You hear just speculatively
Look at the holes in there.
about these things. Yeah, so there are 2 holes that are drilled into that piece of red granite. Now, the conventional explanation is that those 2 holes are involved in the pulley mechanism that raised these granite pieces inside of the antechamber, that there was a couple of wood rollers, and they had ropes that went through those 2 holes that were used to raise and lower these pieces of stone within the antechamber. I disagree with that because I don't think that those pieces of red granite were intended to move. I think there was a component that was housed in those things, not rope. All right, and you can see somebody's little piss jug here. All right. So we just got to prepare to go coordinated backward. Everybody good with that?
You are.
All right. So I can tell you for sure, just looking at it, that this is a dead end.
Yeah.
100%.
Geoffrey, can you check the walls around us?
Yep. So I do see a bunch of salt down in here.
Loads of it.
Yeah, lots of it.
But yes, that is as dead end as it gets.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's not very far.
No, it's not very far.
So the idea that this was a ram pump and that water was being pumped out of the structure through this area, well, we just disproved that, right?
Yeah.
Because this doesn't go anywhere, that's bedrock. So if water was in this chamber, it only had one way to go, which is up through the well shaft into the rest of the structure. And I think we can all kind of pivot. If you want to come further, hey Lex, see if you can turn around.
I don't think I can.
So then just go backwards. If you can't turn around.
Here, babe. Take the camera. You can get the termination.
Just turn around now.
So the ladies and gentlemen at home can see this for yourself, that we're not just saying that. This is the end, the dead end of the shaft.
What's this fissure, Geoffrey? What do you think?
Hold on, let me turn around and I can see it.
All right.
Oh my God, there's plenty of salt around this.
Ton of salt on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, yeah. There looks like there is enough space to turn around up there.
Well, so not much here. No, I can barely turn around. So just go backwards.
Okay. What do you like? There's this really prominent fissure right here.
All right, let me take a look.
We go?
Yeah, I was just trying to point this out. So like right here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it may be
Yeah,
a
like-
natural fissure in the bedrock. I see one here as well. Looks like there's some iron oxide in here.
Yeah. Check this one out. Check this.
Yeah, so that does look like just a natural fissure. And I do see some iron oxide in here.
Yeah.
So very similar to what we saw on the way down in the shaft,
Yeah.
just a much smaller vein.
Cool.
Some garbage.
How you doing?
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm good. It's hot up in here. Okay. You're fine. Thank you for taking a video.
Okay. So it's left.
So again, imagine you're the poor Egyptian guy
Sorry.
that they sent to go explore this thing with no flashlight. Go, man. Okay. Okay. All right.
It's nice. Yeah, I took some.
Okay. So we know the water wasn't going out through where we just were. So the water could only go down or up. So let's say instead of the pump block coming down the descending shaft, what if it went the opposite way and it was like the back of a syringe that pulled water up through this from a subterranean aquifer, pulled water into the system, and then all you need is a two-way valve. So when you're pulling in this way, the valve opens in this direction, allowing water into the chamber, and then when the block moves in the other direction, the valve is pushed down and the water is pushed up into the upper chambers.
And then what would be the purpose of that? Just for overflow or something?
So I believe that this, and I agree with Cadman, that there is compression, fluid compression in this shaft that assists in pushing water back out in this direction.
Right. It'll back hit the ground.
Because he showed in his experiments that the fluid pushes back out into this direction as well. So whenever you guys are ready, we'll head back up the shaft, and then we'll go next to the Queen's chamber.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and select the notification bell to stay tuned. If you want to directly support our research and mission, please pick up some merch and join my members-only channel on Patreon for exclusive content. I want to personally thank my first supporter on Patreon, Joshua Patalos, and my first member on my members-only channel, Brandy Bobbitt. Your continued support helps us fund our expeditions and get us the gear we need to continue our explorations. So thank you so much. Until next time, never stop exploring.